I do want to talk, at least very briefly, about your work last season on Once Upon a Time in Revenge, because you were under an overall deal with ABC, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you explain just a little bit what an overall deal is and how it works?
An overall deal is a deal that the studio gives you, and they basically kind of agree to pay you up front. Whereas, like, normally a writer, you go on a show, it could get canceled after 3 episodes, and that's all you get paid for. You don't have a lot of stability. An overall deal offers you stability and kind of a known salary and paycheck, more like a regular job. The only thing is you're exclusive to that studio, and you're really their kind of like gun for hire, meaning they can place you where they think they need you the most or where you'd be the best fit. I mean, they'll obviously listen to your input too, but that's kind of how it works. And then on the side, you hopefully can develop your own things as well.
And so first you were on Once Upon a Time, and you wrote the 3rd episode, which was like the first one we got a window into Snow White and Charming's relationship.
Yeah.
How much of that was you, and how much of that was the showrunner's vision for, okay, because it's a pretty big arc in that series.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was definitely the showrunner. Adam and Eddie had a very clear vision on that show, and that is 100% their vision. You know, I got to do the first draft of it, which was awesome, and it was such a fun episode, and it was the Snow White episode. So that was fun, but they, you know, I think a lot of times what happens is when you're running a show, you know, season 1 of Life Unexpected, that was very much my vision. But as writers started to be able to write the show, you start to, for me at least, you know, as soon as Adele Lim wrote an episode of Life Unexpected, suddenly I saw her voice and it became a little more of our show. And then as soon as Sally Patrick wrote, suddenly she was a part of that voice and it became her show too. And every time someone wrote, it kind of became their show until by the last episode of the season, we all did a pass of it. So everybody had a hand in the final episode, you know? I mean, technically I wrote it, but really the writers wrote it just as much. So I think at the beginning of a show, I don't know how Once is now, but in the beginning, I mean, as a showrunner, you were really having all the control over those scripts. Now, somebody like Jane Espenson, you know, she has a huge knack and gift for a show like that I don't. So, you know, probably
Buffy,
her first...
She's been on Battlestar. She's
amazing.
Yeah, she's
got
a couple Star Treks to her name, even.
Yeah, her first episode is probably a lot more of her vision because she has a skill set that really serves that show. You know, I didn't. I was more like Portal, like Hole, like, I don't know, like, you know. But it was a fun show to be on, and it was a fun place to be, and it was a really great group of writers on staff.
And was Revenge then more your kind of thing? Like, how would you contrast doing Once and doing Revenge? Because they're very different shows on the outside, but is the process similar?
The process was different. You know, Once is just more of a genre show, and I had never been on a genre show, so I think I was very in over my head. I was kind of... you know where Once and Revenge are similar is I feel like they approach story from plot first, and then you kind of find the emotion within that. And I'm not that great at that. I'm more emotion first, and then the plot comes out of the emotion. So I feel like there are 2 different ways of doing it. And from being on those 2 shows, I feel like it's taught me to be a lot more plot driven. So it's a skill I'm trying to hone and learn, but it's not my first thought. You know, my first thought is emotion. What does this character want? Like, yeah, I'll figure out the plot later. I don't even know the plot until I know why I'm telling the story. Whereas other people can be like, there's this great idea and plot move that's going to happen. Let's build it around that, and that works well too. So that's where they're similar. I think Revenge was just fun for me to write because it was very like, and I love Emily Van Camp. I'd worked with her on Brothers and Sisters. I think she's so talented, and I especially liked writing for Nolan, for Gabe.
Everybody loves Nolan.
I know.
He gets
he's
the best
amazing.
lines.
Yeah, because he's so fun. He makes everything sparkly and snarky and hilarious, and that was really fun. And Revenge was just a great group of people too. They felt very much like my people. Like when I got there, I was like, my people. So that was really fun, and Mike Kelly's great.